Hey, happy people. So today, as you saw by the title, I am making a jollof, but I am going to do this alkaline way. So there are a lot of ingredients here, and you do have to make a lot of them yourself. I'll try to put as many things on the screen as I can to show you guys all of the measurements and stuff of what I have. But some of these things, because it is alkaline, you have to make them yourself. Like your veggie broth mix, it has to be made yourself, which is kind of easy, but I'm just not going to show you guys today. But this is a pure alkaline one. It's basically all the ends of my organic vegetables that I cook and get the broth from, and then I take the peels and stuff that's left over and I blend them up in the blender, throw them on the dehydrator and let them dehydrate, and then I put a little salt, some herbs and stuff in there with it, and just blend it up, and there you go, your veggie broth. But you do need other things like the curry powder. This is a homemade curry powder. I'll put the ingredients right there on the screen so you can see what it is, but it is homemade to make it alkaline. And then there is the homemade black pepper. I made a video on this already, so you can go and check that out if you want to see how to make the alkaline black pepper. But those things you do have to make yourself in order for you to make it alkaline, because the ones in the store do not have just the ingredients that's on the list of being alkaline. And before you do anything else, you will need to cook your kamut, because this is what we're going to use as our rice substitute. It looks similar to rice. It holds a rice texture, kind of like a al dente rice, so that's good. I do not use quinoa for this one because quinoa is just too light. I like the rice texture, so I use kamut for that. And I got a lot of it. So, oh, and the garlic. This is a homemade garlic. It is some shallots and onions and onion powder, things like that. I'll make a video on it. I'll show you what the ingredients are right here, but show you how to make it. But most of you who are alkaline probably already know how to make this. So let's really get started here. So the first thing you want to do for jollof rice is you have to make the puree first. So we're going to do that. And what you put in the puree is basically some red bell peppers, some onions. I have some shallots and the yellow onion and some shallots, and I have Roma tomatoes, and I have some fresh ginger. So we're just going to put that all in the blender and mix it up together. You may need a little water for this because you want it to be a puree, so just depends how much liquid is in your tomatoes. I think that is pretty good. Oh yeah, you can smell bell pepper. Now we're just going to set this to the side while we work on it. So now that we've got our puree blended up, we are now going to saute our onions and put this all together. So I have a half a cup of grapeseed oil here. Get hot, and we're going to saute our onions. We really don't want them to be like caramelized or burned on the ends. We just want them to be soft. This is 2 small onions. I'm going to take half of them out because that's something you're going to I'm just going to mix in the end. It has that nice look at the top, but we're going to saute the full 2 purple onions, but they were small onions, not that large. while we're waiting on the onions, when you're making your veggie broth, be conscious of the vegetables you are using. Like fennel is very strong, so if you're using like the ends off of fennel in it, just be wary of that. Like I actually put scraps of vegetables that are really, really strong that I know I don't use regularly on everything in a separate Ziploc bag in the freezer, because when I'm cutting up my vegetables, any edges or anything like that, peels, ends, seeds, stuff like that, I throw them all in a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer. And when I need vegetable broth or vegetable powder, I can easily do that. So that helps saves with money. That way you don't throw away a lot of money, because a lot of people do think that being alkaline are actually buying this stuff and to make these meals, especially the meals I make, because I like comfort food and I like complex food, so I always got something like humongous that got a lot of ingredients. But if you make these things in advance, like make a large quantity of them, then you'll have them when you need them. You won't have to pull out a whole bunch of ingredients at one time. Like this curry powder has quite a few ingredients, right? So we have to pull them out plus other ingredients too. So it's just easier to make them in advance, stuff like that. But keeping your vegetable ends and stuff like that, getting the maximum amount from what you buy already. When you do your kamut, you'll definitely need to start this a day in advance, because you need to soak your kamut overnight. It is just like the chickpeas. You will need to soak these overnight so they don't take as long to cook, and then usually you can cook them by the package directions. I just put a little sea salt and a little savory in with the water, and they puff up just like, they double in size, just like the chickpeas. If you cook, this is actually was just 2 cups of the dry hard, and I ended up getting 4.5 cups when it was all cooked and done. So just remember that. I may not use this whole thing. Just depends on how thick I get here. How thick I get here. Okay, so our onions are starting to get a little tinge on the end, so now I'm going to take out half of these to save for later, kind of as a garnish. Put those over there. And now we're going to add in our garlic, mock garlic. This is not real garlic. Please don't come for me in the comments. Sizzling pretty good. We're going to add our tomato puree. Our tomato paste. That's our tomato puree. This is our tomato paste. This is about 3.5 tablespoons of tomato puree. I know traditionally I don't use that much, but I like the tomato taste, so I'm just going to let that fry pretty much. Mix in with the oil pretty good. Alright, so our tomato paste has been cooking down here for a few minutes. And I think we're ready to move on to the next stage. So now we're going to add our seasonings to this. I have some sea salt and alkaline black pepper. Ginger, cayenne. This has a little dill in it. You do not have to use dill, and usually they don't use dill, and I'm not using it as a substitute for anything. I just accidentally picked up the dill when I thought I was picking up the black pepper, and realized like as soon as I put a little pinch in there, so I'm not going to waste it. So this time it'll have dill in it. And my alkaline curry powder. This is the like golden or yellow one that they use. I know there's like 2 different kinds. And this is savory thyme and some basil, bay leaves. My thyme just happened to be fresh right now. You can use dried or fresh. I just happen to have fresh right now, so that's what I'm just going to use before it goes bad, or I have to dry it in the dehydrator. So that mixed up together. Get those bits off the bottom, because that's your tomato paste, and it gives you a little bit more flavor. Now, I'm going to add some veggie broth powder. I'm just going to do about 1.5 tablespoons here. For right now, once I'm all done and got it all mixed together and tasted, then I might add some more, but for right now, just that amount. I know usually in regular jollof rice, they have like chicken bouillon cubes, or they have that some kind of seasoning powder that they use. So that's my substitute. Alright, we got that mixed together. Now we can add our puree. All those bell peppers. Ooh, I love the smell of bell peppers. Want to know a little bitty fact? Some people may know this already. That hot Cheetos, like the smell of them, is actually from red bell pepper. I learned that. Now we gotta cover this and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. We want this to reduce. Ooh, cover. It's red and the eyeliner gone. Oh well, moving on. Yeah, 1 ounce salad. Okay. All right, y'all. I had to take a break. Thought I had got blinded there for a second. Whew. So, like I was saying, you're going to put this on a nice simmer and let it go for about 20 minutes. And then you're going to come back, and that's when we're going to add the kamut. And we'll move on from there. So, see you in 20 minutes, people. Okay, so we're back. It's been 20 minutes. I'm going to turn this down some more because I don't want to get popped in the eye no more. And we should be good and reduced. It should be pretty thick right now. I want that to calm down. I'm a little afraid right now. Alright, so like I was saying, it has been 20 minutes. It has reduced. It is very thick now, not as juicy as it was. So now, going to add the kamut. Now this is, like I said, it's 4.5 cups. Usually it's like 4 cups. I know in their recipes are 2 cups, but I think I'm just going to, I might do the full 4.5 cups. Because this freezes well, so you can make a lot of it and put it in the freezer, because kamut holds very well even when it comes out of the freezer. It will still have a nice bite to it. It won't be mushy. Stir it all up together. Now here you can add some water or some veggie broth, but since I have some veggie broth, I'm going to use it because I got more than I need. I got a freezer full of scrap veggies that I need to make into some broth. So we're going to just add this, and you're just going to add enough water till it covers your kamut. You don't add too much, because then if it was rice, it would be soggy. Looking for us, kamut doesn't really get that soggy. It would take a lot. But that's just enough right there. Like that was actually about 2 cups of broth, and I used about a cup. You just want it to be right above your kamut, just so you can see it. I'm going to turn this fire back up now and let it go back to simmering, and we're going to cover it because I don't want to get popped in the eye again. But this should go for about an hour, maybe, but you want to check it every 20 minutes because you want to turn your kamut, make sure it doesn't just settle at the bottom and burn. I know when I worked with a person who was from Africa, they would talk about how they would let it sit and the burn part on the bottom would give it that smoky flavor. But with my kamut, I don't want it to burn, so I don't do that. I just come back every 20 minutes, stir it up pretty good, and do that about 3 times, and we should be done in an hour. I'll be back in an hour, people. Alright, so we're back, guys. It has been about an hour and a half because I realized that I need to put some more water in there and let it go so it would come out fine. But hour and a half, and now we have our alkaline jollof. It looks pretty good to me. It's not going to be as dry as regular jollof because the kamut is just not going to let it dry up as much. It doesn't soak up as much liquid. So we are just going to put this, I need a spoon. Alright, so we got our spoon here. Pour this off in there. It smells amazing. And it makes quite a bit. Like I said, this is freezer friendly. You can put it in the freezer, and when you defrost it, it will not lose any of its texture. So your kamut won't be all mushy. I think this is one of the perfect dishes to take for potluck, things like that. And we're just going to add our onions here. Steaming and smells so good. Alright, so our onions, this is purely aesthetic, basically just to give you some color. So I just kind of spread them out over the top here. I got a little orange bell pepper, again for some color to it, give me some color contrast. Plus, I had it left over in the refrigerator. I'm not going to let it go to waste. And then just a little bit of cilantro. Since Happy is not a big fan, so I'm just going to add just a little bit here. This is why I didn't mix it in when we were cooking. And there we are. That is my take on alkaline jollof rice. Try it out, people. Let me know in the comments what you think. You know, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, if you learned something today. And just let me know how you like it. But until then, stay happy.
Uh-huh.